Hey guys, Jimmy Vegas here, and today we are taking a look at an asset in a Unity asset store called PBR Sculpture. Now, this one kind of rings a bell from the last one that I did, but there are a couple of different things. But let's get into it so you understand. So, taking a look at the actual asset itself, it's not too bad. It looks okay. Textures are a little bit blurry. I mean, given what I think this is probably going to be used for, it's not going to matter all that much. So, quantity wise, what do we get? Well, we get the sculpture itself, and if we take a look further, we can see all different things about this. We've got the sample scene, which is good. We've got some reflection probes in there, which again is all good. Prefab. We've even got a script, which I think I'm going to count as extra, and I'll show you the script in just a second. And we get the textures as well. So quantity, we get exactly what it says we get. But again, I will get around to that just a little later on this video, much like the last one. If we do press play and have a look, we can see that we do indeed get a script, which will kind of pan us around a little bit, and we can see. So maybe that could count as an extra. I'm not entirely sure. So again, back to quality. Remember, you should always try and customize it as much as you can. Maybe add a little bit of post-processing to, spruce it up a little bit and see what you can come up with. Obviously, this post-processing is intense, but it just still proves the fact that you can change it around and play around with it and do different things and come up with the effect you want to. So what is this going to be used for? I think this is probably going to be used for like a construction area, probably in the background. I don't think it's going to be something you're up close to, so its best purpose is going to be something in the background. How easy is it to use? Easy, drag and drop. I mean, there's nothing more simple than that in Unity. It's the dragging and dropping, and that's all it really comes down to. You could customize it a little bit further if you wanted to. As I always say, play around with the material, do what you want to it, make it real intense on the normal map or something, and then again, now it looks all ugh. So it's down to you how you want it to look. How useful is it? Fairly useful. I mean, like I say, in the background of some kind of construction area, it'll suit its purpose quite well. So how much is it? How big is it? Well, if we go to the asset store, we can see it is indeed free, which is always good. And it is just under 20 meg, which again is fairly decent, but I think it probably could be a little bit smaller. Now, the last asset I reviewed, if you saw that video, I kind of took issue with things displayed here which aren't actually in the scene, and I found that happening more and more. In the past, I've been a little bit lenient with it, and I've always gone down the road of it showing you what you could create, but I think sometimes some of these creators do take liberties. And looking at some of these images, I do think it's unfortunate to see how this looks in this image, because I do find that very misleading. It does indeed describe itself as a PBR sculpture, so you would assume you're only getting that sculpture, not the trees, not the building, not the mountains or anything like that. Not like with some assets where it says it's a pack and you just get a couple of things. They are very misleading. So this is not quite as misleading in that sense, but I do think maybe something should be a bit... These pictures here should be probably the first ones that you would see, because these are indeed what you get in the pack. Anyway, as you guys know, I don't rate assets. I either recommend them or I don't. And this one is a tough one because it's useful in some ways, but in other ways it's kind of not, because there are better assets out there. So I would recommend it in the sense of something in the distance for background, like say construction site. But generally overall, I can't see much use to it, if I'm honest. There's not massive amounts you can do with this asset. If you can find a use for it, then yeah, I'd recommend it. It's worth it. But for most of us who are creating different kinds of projects, it's not going to serve much of a purpose, unfortunately. But like I say, keep it in mind if you are creating something for the background. So guys, have you used this asset? Let me know what you think of it in the comments. And if you've got an asset on the asset store yourself, let me know as well. I'd love to check it out. And finally, don't forget to click subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be updated whenever I upload something like a tutorial, something like an asset review, or anything at all on my channel. Guys, hope to see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching.